Usually I Elaine says if somebody else wants to speak first, go ahead, because we take up a few extra minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I live across the street from the mall, and right there by the drive-through Huntington Bank, why are they digging up the whole pavement next, are they building something, or are they putting sewer lines, or?
Yes, that's good. There's gonna be a building there. It's gonna be, is it Verizon?
Verizon,
Mattress
stores,
jewelry?
and
K jewelry. Yes, they're putting a building there. The mall sold that one parcel
Yeah.
to them, and they're building a building there, like a little strip mall free.
Oh, wow.
So, got another mattress store.
Yeah. Great. Thought maybe it was another hotel.
We're hoping it was a restaurant, right?
Yeah, really, that's what
everyone
we need
says.
around here.
Red Lobster.
That's what somebody said, oh, it's a Red Lobster, yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, when it's like,
Did you, that's her.
yeah, that's, thank you. Your turn.
Oh, sorry.
Good, Timmy.
Tim Pettibon. My question is I live on Meadowlark Lane, and it's probably the highest or the heaviest traffic street in Center Township with the Duquesne Light trucks there and everything else that goes back there these days. And the condition of that street or that lane, which is what it actually is. And the weather we've had this year with all the rains and everything, I have part of that road at the end of my driveway. And because it just keeps washing out, and probably over the last 8 years, there's been, I think, 7 water main breaks on that tiny little street. And it's just one of those things that I think that if somebody doesn't act soon, it's going to be in worse shape than it is, because again, there's ruts on the left side underneath of the road that the water has undercut the surface of the road or the base of the road actually, and now it just, you know, we get a rain, and I'm at the base of that hill, and I have nothing but gravel and dirt and everything else that ends up down there, because there's no runoff, there's no drains, there's no nothing ever been put onto that street. So again, my question or my concern or my comment is, could somebody please take a look at that road and see what we can do with it, you know, maybe trying to fix it back up again.
We'll send, Ned, you wanna go out and check out? Yeah. Okay, we'll send our engineer out and he can evaluate it and get back with us,
Okay, thank you.
get some information on it.
Appreciate it.
just so you know, sir, the road program for this year is complete for the paving. So the township wouldn't take on a project like that, and the paving season's really shortening down. So Public Works might be able to make some repairs in the interim, but
Yeah,
we wouldn't be able to
till
pave
next
it or
spring.
anything
Is
like
that
that.
correct?
You know what I mean?
Okay. At least maybe we can address some of the ruts that he was
Yeah.
talking about, evaluate. Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Okay, Karen.
Okay. Karen Godola from Ivy Lane, 730 Ivy Lane. So, National Fuel, hello, everybody. Have a lot of questions for you tonight. First, I'm gonna start with the last 2 weeks, there's been a whole heck of a lot of activity in the woods between Rose Drive and Ivy Lane. Can you tell us what's going on? And in particular, my big concern is that up and down slope, very steep and very tall. What's being done to stabilize it for erosion control?
So the work that you've been seeing should have been to the north side of that ravine, you know, everything to the south, so between that stream, if you will, heading back to north. And what we were doing in there, we were putting in, you know, final water bars. There's riprap in the stream to protect the banks from caving in. Not caving in, but, you know, losing the banks down into the stream. And then you'll see a matting too. It's all been hydroseeded at this point. We're done working our way out, but there's it's called TRM. What's that stand for? turf reinforcement mat that was installed and then hydroseeded over, and that's to add extra rigidity so that the topsoil doesn't, move.
Okay.
It was a task that just really, took time to do. But aside from restoration, that was really what that all boiled down to what we did.
So in your weekly reports, I've seen there have been some concrete barriers or something at one point. Are those still there?
No, those were only for,
At the stream.
yeah, those were only during construction, so we didn't have, large amounts.
So is that whole area now complete, done?
Yeah, up to the top, I mean, we're still working our way back out to Gross Drive, but yes, that whole
Okay.
valley is complete.
Okay, so I'll still do noise back there.
Yeah, if you can hear,
I can hear
up to
it.
the top.
I can hear it. Oh, yeah, I can tell if it's on the Gross Drive side or if it's on the slope side. I can tell. It's very directional. So since we're talking about Gross Drive, from there, I know that the pipe will be installed, I think underneath Gross Drive.
It already is,
It is.
yes.
Okay, that's right, that's right. And then there's a couple of homes, and then also work has been being done recently at the VFW.
Correct.
So is that now in process this week to connect all of that?
Correct, yeah. It is our goal that by the end of this week, that's.
They're on Bunker Hill Road right now.
Bunker
Yes.
Hill. Are
Yeah,
you boring under?
Walker Hill, yes, will report.
And what about the homes? Are you boring there? Are you gonna?
I believe the contractor is looking to bore Mrs. Weber's driveway.
What about the rest of the
What
homes?
stayed behind the decision to bond versus did?
Essentially, so it doesn't disrupt your driveway and retaining wall.
So if you're gonna bore, are there any special precautions that they should take, like, I don't know, water, electrical usage, water usage, anything like that? Do they need to do anything special during the times when the boring is taking place?
No, I mean, we locate any facilities, known in that area, and we watch them as the bore goes through.
Okay.
I'm not aware of any, with the water and that's, and gas stuff further.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't.
Okay. Let's just talk for a moment about Hurdle Lane. I think you're done on Hurdle Lane also? No? No?
No.
Okay, how about an update on Hurdle Lane?
We've crossed Pleasant and we're basically at, it would be the south side of Hurdle Lane.
Okay.
And then once we complete over on Zimmerman Drive, we'll come back to Hurdle Lane.
Okay.
We'll work down the lane and then,
So you're gonna actually tear up the asphalt? Okay. I
It'll
didn't know
be-
if you were gonna bore under there or not.
No.
That's why I thought you were done.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we've got, that's a couple hundred feet left. I think, 700 feet.
Okay, so you're gonna crack the asphalt.
Yeah, I don't know if you've gone through like the VCT or the VCRC, they'll probably saw cut, where they have to dig. And then,
Okay, I know what you're referring to, yeah. Okay. So let's see, maybe 2 months ago or so, you had approached, National Fuel had approached Ivy Lane about using it as an access route. Where does that stand? Because I don't think right now you're using Ivy Lane as an access.
No, there was a couple items that we needed to get solidified and, the paperwork and things like that are, in progress, tied up and got moved as far as the criticality of it.
Okay.
At this point, so there's not as much of a push. We would still like to pursue that even, we're done in that area at this point, but from even a permanent access back through there for operations and maintenance in the future, we would like to obtain that. It just hasn't gotten there yet.
So that would be something you would be negotiating with the township as well as with Energy Transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when I read what's happening on the database for National Fuel, I see that your project was extended out till October 11th. First of all, is National Fuel gonna hit the October 11 completion date?
I mean, that is a mechanical completion date, and we've been keeping up with restoration, so. But it does not include restoration, as far as that October 11th date. We're hopeful, with where we're at now, I mean, we're analyzing it pretty close. We don't, it's gonna be close to that from a mechanical completion.
So once mechanical completion occurs, when will gas flow? Leon and I might want to know that. When is, and are we gonna be advised ahead of time?
I mean, we could advise you, I guess also, you know, we probably don't know that answer either. You know, we have to do hydro testing and things before it can mechanically go into service. So that stuff is allotted for within the mechanical completion date, but it's, you know, really when the end user would like the gas as well. You know, there's a lot of discussions above me on when the line would be activated.
So how about the townships? Will they be notified and emergency personnel? Because no one knew when Energy Transfer had been commissioned and had gas flowing, and so it was a big surprise.
Yeah, I think you'll probably be notified of, or can be notified of two things. One would be the hydro test activities, where we're required to notify people within a certain range.
Well, along the local fire chief has already been notified. We've met with him on numerous occasions.
So that,
due to some fire alarm issues in the office space we're leasing, so he already has information on the whole pipeline and the route through Center Township.
Okay.
but there'll be that notification, and then as far as the in-service, I think the township in the MOU says 12 days. if
I
I'm
think
not
we discussed
mistaken,
that we want to be
that they
ordered.
would be notified.
Can I at least be notified for Ivy Lane so that I can let the residents know? And would I get that from National Fuel, or would I get that from the township? Who would let me know that? Whose action item is it?
I could answer that question for you.
Okay.
Probably what will happen is, and we'll have to keep, and you guys can keep us in the loop on that. We'll probably do a swift 911 call. It's a reverse call. The same call that when we evacuated the homes in the region for Ivy Lane and all, when that incident occurred. We'd probably utilize that same system just to notify whatever region it is that pipeline will be active. So if we have the area that will be active and will be flowing gas, we can probably just do an informational reverse 911 call it, and the CAD system, the computer-aided dispatch system, they put it in the program, and then everybody would get a phone call if you belong to Swift 911 on your cell phone or perhaps on your landline. So likely that's probably the most efficient way of doing it, instead of you having to call a bunch of people. If we can put it in the region, that's all the region that was helpful, and we would get that once you guys supply some information, you're ready to do that. I'll put you in touch with the 911 center, and they can make arrangements when they call.
So would that be within like X number of feet of the pipeline, those folks would be contacted?
It would be for whatever we want. I mean, we could make it within a mile radius, whatever. The 911 center can pick whatever region they want. So, I mean, I'll discuss with the board of supervisors on how far they want that notification, and we can reach out and do that. It would likely be more than a couple of yards from the pipeline. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, that's why I'm asking that question. What do you think, Heather? Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, I would like to know ahead of time who's making that decision or what that decision will be, so that I know to listen for this call.
What you want to listen for, you'll get it on, or you go on to Swift 911. If not, you can go on the website and register your cell phone. It's a notification system for the county that's free, Swift 911. So when it's done, it will be contingent upon when these guys are near completion and how far it goes. We'll have to discuss with the board how far they want to notify everybody. So I don't think there's any harm on
This
making
board?
it. The board of supervisors will tell me how far they want that notification.
Do you guys have any idea how far?
I don't think that's something we discussed yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I mean, do you have any, I mean, what would
What do
you
you-
guys like it to be?
Well, what I can say right now is when the explosion happened, half a mile from the explosion site was evacuated. So
I would say more than a mile radius, I would
Would-
definitely say.
Bear, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
more than Ivy Lane.
I think it's going to be based upon the population of the region and the type travels through. So we'll look at that. You know, if the pipe's traveling through vacant land, that's not as relevant as to a populated area.
Exactly.
So, you know, these guys will map out where the pipe's traveling, when it'll be turned on, and I'll feed that information back to you. And I don't think it's any harm in making it pretty broad,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah, I'd rather make it bigger than
Right.
small.
It's not gonna
Thank
hurt
you.
anything, just
Thank
letting
you.
everybody know, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
ask for too much, so thank you. Go, you have your hand
I have a
up.
question, I guess, for the pipeline guy. The last explosion, they said the pipeline shut-off valves were X amount of, I forget how many miles apart. And this new pipeline is supposed to be half that distance apart. My question is, if it explodes again, how many minutes are going to elapse between the boom and the shut off? That last one burned for quite a while. If it happens again, how long is it gonna burn? You guys know that, we wanna hear it.
With regard to when valves are actually
When they
automated.
said,
in the
yeah,
event
when
of
it
a-
goes boom, the computer shuts the valves or whatever. But meanwhile, that gas is coming through and it's burning. How long is it gonna burn in that area till it is burned off or whatever?
Well, the pipeline, when it's fully in service,
Yeah,
will be monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The control center with certain automated valves would have the capability to do that instantaneously in the event of alarms indicating a release.
but that's not my question. My question, the gas that's in the line is gonna continue to burn even while it's shut off in each end.
To answer your question,
How?
it will burn until the gas is gone.
How long?
Well, as long as it takes to burn that gas out, and the last one was hours.
How long did it
It's,
burn?
the computer shut off the valves, but the line ruptured. All that gas in the ruptured line escaped. It can't be extinguished. So we had to let it burn out, and that it's gonna burn. As long as there's gas coming out of those pipes. The shut-off valve shut it off, whatever distance that was, I think it was 14 miles, the old explosion, if I'm wrong, right. And if it's shorter, then it would be shorter. So there's one, they can't control the rupture.
I know, I understand.
So that's gonna burn until the gas is gone, and that could be
But don't
several
you guys know
hours.
how much gas is in there, whatever's blowing through the gas line, cubic feet or whatever?
Whatever it is, it's
However
gonna burn
many
until it's
days
gone. That's how, and I don't believe it's gonna be any different than what it was with that explosion. You can't extinguish that part of a fire.
Then I think we would need more of a notification than Ivy Lane, Karen.
That's what they're saying, think it's wrong. So I will mention that.
Can I,
the-
and listen, I think that question, excuse me, was directed to National Fuel, but I think that we're both subject to the same member codes of federal regulation. So in this case, I think 192 is what you'd be dealing with. So there is a robust ongoing integrity management and public awareness obligation that pipeliners have in perpetuity. And that requires, right, just when they get into service, we get into service, and we have an obligation now and in the future to communicate with folks that are in certain proximity of that pipeline, reminding folks that there is an active pipeline in their neighborhood, things to look for, numbers to call, things of that nature. And so that's also a part of the obligation that we have to communicate now and in the future with our neighbors, reminding folks of that, as long as the pipeline is in operation.
So Chris is speaking for Energy Transfer, which is the pipeline where the explosion was. And then I think Jake Kramer said the shut-off valves were roughly 14 miles apart.
I think in the last one, I don't know.
I thought it was 20, but irregardless, it took 2 hours to burn that off.
2 hours.
The National Fuel Pipeline, which is the one that's currently in the process of going in, I've been talking to National Fuel here, that's a 4.5 mile pipeline, 12-inch diameter, as opposed to Energy Transfer's was a 24-inch diameter. A lot more gas in the Energy Transfer pipeline. So there is a bit of a difference there. Yes. You have any other questions, Heather, for National Fuel? We're good. I do want to say thank you again to National Fuel for burying the pipe 20 feet deep at the crossings where Energy Transfer is going to cross the National Fuel Pipeline. That does elicit a measure of safety and security for us in Ivy Lane, so we do appreciate that. We very much do appreciate that, so thank you, thank you. So that's what, anybody else have questions for National Fuel before I start asking energy transfer questions? Okay, I'm gonna turn. All right, Chris. My standard first question, how about updates on permits? What's going on with the erosion control, any changes to mechanized equipment, that sort of thing?
No, not really, Karen. We're probably in the same place that we were at this time last month with regard to updates, communicating milestones, but again, the ongoing commitment, we wouldn't wait for a township meeting for that to happen. If we had a more significant update, where there was more activity taking place beyond kind of the status quo, maintaining erosion and sedimentation control devices, certainly we alert the Board of Supervisors. That's a standing commitment, and certainly if it involved Ivy and Vine, we have everyone's contact information there as well. So really in the same priorities as last month.
I do see that for energy transfer, there seems to be a lot of mulch down, or hydro mulch, whatever it is. I am starting to see green pop up. And when I drive down 376, I think there's now mulch behind what was the DeMarco house. I don't know if Energy Transfer put that there or National Fuel, but it's good to see that finally, because that has been one area that for 2 years never got stabilized. So it's good, it's very good. Was it National Fuel?
I think from what you can see from 376, it would have not been our court.
Would not, and so it's the probably Precision Pipeline and Energy Transfer. It's kind of where the two of you cross, actually, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Oh, I know, Chris, another thing. So the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection issued an order in May. This has to do with the restoration of the streams and the wetlands. There were a lot of deadlines, like July 30th, complete the survey of the impacted streams and wetlands. August 30th, submit the plan and schedule for restoration. And September 30th was to submit the full and complete applications for permits for water restoration plan and monitoring. I bring this up because I know, again, back behind what was the DeMarco home and the Rosati home, there are springs and wetlands. How about talking about the progress there and what the plans are?
We have submitted a number of, we've submitted a lot of information to the DEP, but at this point we do not have final temporary or permanent stabilization to go back in and make any adjustments to the right of way. That's still pending with the department.
So they're under review with them?
That's correct.
Okay. Any update for the DeMarco house? Is it plans for demolition? Make it a, I don't know, a field office?
No, at this time I think it's our priority to maintain it,
Okay.
to make sure that the grass is cut, but no, at this time, still status quo.
Would you live there?
What's that?
Would you live there now? Would you feel it was safe if you were to live in that house?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Any other updates, Chris?
No, ma'am.
Anybody else have any questions for Energy Transfer?
Okay.
That's all for now. Thank you all for your time.
Barry has something.
Thank you,
Barry.
Chris.
I just wanted to add on, since I made reference when I was talking before about the Swift 911 Center. So if those people, and Karen, maybe you can push this out to the communication group you talked to. If you go to the Beaver County website, Beaver County, Pennsylvania website, you go to registering for the Beaver County 911 Swift Alert System. You will get those notifications. If some of you may have received when we had the chlorine gas leak in Rochester, you might have gotten those notifications. If not, if you belong to that system, your phone will get notified on these alerts, such as perhaps it may be something that we can talk about when the line is charged. Again,
Are you with them, the 9/11?
I am not.
My question, like the last time that thing happened in Rochester with the chlorine gas, like I heard like "hit" on the phone, like
And then
2
there-
words of it, and that was it. And a lot
There
of
was a
people had that
preamble
same
that,
complaint.
there was a message, well, I'll talk to them, to make sure the system is working, functioning properly. It should have not done that, but, so if you want to register, it's free. You get these alerts in your phone, and that's a good way to get communication instead of having to call you the rest.
Right,
That's all I have to
Hey, Chief, you could get them on your landline too.
Yeah.
Get on all your,
Everybody knows.
Go, Mo.
I have one question, the bad intersection down there off of Old Broadhead and Stone Quarry, where the Sunoco station is, like going down to Center Stage.
Yes.
That is such a bad intersection. A while back, they said they were gonna put a no left turn from off the hill. I don't know if that's still in the makings, but like when you're trying to pull out those hedges and the, you know, people's hedges, they're like in the way, you cannot see.
It's hard to.
he just cut them. He
Just
just
right
cut them
road.
last week, I talked to
Yeah.
the state.
In a county road.
Yeah, and the state and county roads, those are, I agree with you about those hedges. So your commissioners, you
Yeah.
might want to give them a buzz, it's election season for
Are
them.
you talking about on the corner of Center Stage and?
Yeah, like
He
you
just
come up
cut
that
them, he
hill.
just cut them, I just talked to him.
Like
last week, he just cut them.
They're still hard to see around. I was just there last night.
Really?
Yeah, they're still hard to see
Because I
around.
know he had them cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then he did take them out.
Nothing, anything further? Approve of minutes, August 19, 2019, regular meeting. Can I have a motion?
Motion,
Second,
Yes. Yes. September 3rd, 2019, work session.
motion.
second.
Yes.
Yes. Engineer report, Ned?
Okay, 2019 road program, that work is done, so you should be getting an invoice shortly. 2019 road maintenance seal coating, that'll be done by the end of the month, before the end of September. Raccoon Creek Road, they have done the shoulder work, they're starting the paving tomorrow, so this probably should take about a week. They were giving notices out to the residents, and that'll be paved.
They did what then? They did report?
They were handing out notices to the residents last week. They completed all the shoulder restoration. We raised some inlets to grade and things like that, Public Works did. So they'll start paving tomorrow. Lindy will.
Okay.
And it'll probably take them a week. It's about 4,000 feet, 3,500 feet of roadway. We do have partial payment request number 1 submitted by Youngblood in the amount of $180,986.14 for contract 19R02. This is the maintenance seal coating. So we need a motion to approve that. We're recommending payment.
Motion.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, the Cedar Ridge Pond. We did open bids at last meeting. You saw we bid it with 3 alternatives. And you saw where the price is at. So alternate A is coming, if we're looking towards Cedar Ridge, like with the woods behind us. A is all the way, A is to the left, B is in the center between the two homes, goes right away. C is towards Officer Garnsey's. So you saw the swing in the price, $100,000 difference to bid on between the two. So, I mean, you don't have a full board tonight. We have a lot on the agenda, but I think we just need to sit and look at these options, and then we can speak with Nick about obtaining a right.
I know Richie wanted to be involved, and he's not here.
Yeah, he's
So
not
just
here.
get with, make sure he.
The center
This is the most expensive.
is the most expensive.
Because of access, and also if it's going to be dug up, there's a line underneath there, a piece that's never been replaced, corrugated metal pipe, so that was included in that piece. So that's about $40,000 difference right there, but that piece of pipe is going to be replaced. But Commissioner George wanted to be involved because he's the roadmaster, so we defer that to the next meeting. As far as developments, we have a bond reduction, so we're recommending approval of a bond reduction for jet lag. This is the Praxair building. This reduction would be from the current bond of $26,058.40 to $12,958.40. That's per our letter dated August 9th, 2019.
Motion.
Second. Oh, yes.
Yes.
And then we have a subdivision plan for NDR Ryan Homes. This is for lot 104. And and that was approved by the planning commission, also approved by county planning, so we just need approval by the board.
Motion.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We also have another subdivision for Ryan and the It's for lot 110. They satisfied the requirements of township in our review, however, they do need approval by Potter Township, because the parcel crosses the line. So I would just, what I'd suggest is you can make a motion to approve it contingent upon Potter Township's approval.
I'll make that motion.
Yes.
Yes.
And we had another subdivision for the Garada plan. This was a lot line change. We had one comment in our letter which was minor, so I would recommend approval of the Garada subdivision plan.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
We talked briefly, we've been working the township, water and sewer together just to get the Beaver Valley Mall out parcel wrapped up. That's what the one resident brought up about the asphalt. So they came in, removed the asphalt. They were still finalizing some documents. Nick will have developers agreement for tonight, and there's some miscellaneous paperwork they're completing. So they should be, in the next 4 or 5 days, I hope, everything will be taken care of. It just really crossing T's and dots the lines.
Motion.
Yes.
And then we did a review of the industrial drive daycare. At this point, enough information has been submitted, I think you could schedule a conditional use hearing for that.
Make a motion for that, to schedule a hearing. For the, what day you want to do it?
Yes.
What day? Next meeting? Just do it
I mean,
before, like our
everything's
second
in line.
meeting?
No, because the ad has to go in.
Or
Is there a calendar there?
Next regular meeting.
next regular meeting?
Next regular meeting?
There you go.
That one will do, because it has to
Why
go
don't we do that?
2 consecutive, and the second one has to be.
Okay.
We'll just do it
And you
6:45.
property owners.
So,
October
You wanna just do
21st.
6:45?
There was one in there.
It's going now.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying for the work session or the regular?
Regular.
meeting?
Regular.
That's October 21st,
Okay.
6:45?
I think that works.
Yeah, it'd be really close to try to do it next meeting.
We'll just do it the next one.
Yeah, the ads can't go in early, and the people need to
Plus
be
you gotta
notified.
notify everyone.
Right, it's too
Is
close.
that okay for
Yeah,
that-
that's
that
fine,
one?
that's fine.
I'll give you enough time.
Yeah.
Everyone's good with that?
Yeah, and just one last thing, the work resumed on the Mall Loop Road, so they're expecting 2 to 3 weeks to be done.
Okay, what all you got?
That's all I have.
You're up next, solicitor's report.
As Ben mentioned, that they actually, there was an issue with some terms they wanted to change on those agreements. I don't know if you recall, maybe a month or 2 back, where they proposed some changes and we weren't acceptable. They actually did end up sending in the stormwater agreement, which is the correct one. There was an issue over which, if they sent the right one or the one with their changes, they sent an email to us today, Maria, I think.
Wait, are we talking about G&D or the?
I'm sorry, the out parcel, yeah, that's what
Okay.
I said, I'm sorry. And they are sending the versions that we proposed to them that we want, so you should be getting those, probably tomorrow or the next day. So if you want to, you can make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign those agreements whenever they come in, rather than wait till the next meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
With regard to G&D, their attorney provided me a collateral assignment of the developer's agreement. And in every developer's agreement we do, we always put a provision that they cannot assign any of their interest or right under the agreement unless it's with our permission. This agreement essentially allows the bank, if the developer goofs up something, to go in and perform any obligations that as a borrower would have to complete under our agreements. So the agreement is in good form. They said they just, essentially they were just not really consenting to the terms. We're not really a party to, any of the, the lending part of this. But it's just us consenting and acknowledging that they want to assign their right to the bank, that if they goof up, the bank can go in or have their people come, hire a contractor to do any work on the property. So we just need a motion to authorize the chairman to sign this agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Yes.
And that's it.
Old business. Trash receptacle.
We got
price?
we got a
How
price.
long?
2 years?
It's been at least 3. 4 months.
$1.75 additional a month for the recycling receptacle only. 64 gallon.
And that's a bigger one.
I think that's the smaller one.
Okay.
Just it's just recyclables.
Okay, what if somebody wants a bigger one? Do we gotta wait another 4 months for that price?
He just gave us the price for that. I don't know that they do recyclables with the bigger one. I mean, that's kind of huge for recyclables.
64 gallons.
Okay. Didn't we have those 2 cans there?
The big one was for the trash. The smaller
Oh,
one
okay.
is for the
Apologize.
recyclables, which is still big.
Okay.
Seeing as how glass is no longer recyclable.
Right.
Yeah, true.
And, yeah, that's, I don't know.
We have time for this anyway. We wouldn't do this.
I
for
mean,
next
you
year.
wouldn't start it until January, but they need to
If we
order them and
decide
get
to
it
do
to all
that.
the residents and get the word out there, and the billing would go out in, probably November, December for the January, for the first quarter. But you don't have to do the first quarter, you could do it
Yeah.
whenever you want. But we just finally got
Well, thank you.
the price.
Okay. Committee report, George?
Barry, do you have anything?
Nothing.
No.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to substitute special counsel to Gatens, to Sari, and Nicholas.
Second.
I'm sorry, could you say that again to me for one press?
Substitute special counsel
Mm-hmm,
to Gatens, to Sari, and Nicholas.
thank you.
George,
No,
you?
second.
Second.
Yes,
Yes. So we got Doc?
That's it.
Lisa?
nothing.
Chief, nothing?
Nothing.
John, anything?
No, thank you.
Frank?
No.
New business, approve the list of bills for payment?
Motion,
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Approve treasurer's report?
Motion.
second.
Yes.
Yes. Approve 2020 MMO for police and road and office?
I emailed this, did you see them? I emailed them separately.
Right.
Yes.
Motion.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. And computer upgrades? Can you explain that?
Well, it's not so much a computer upgrade, you know, they're not gonna support a couple of the programs come, well, we should be doing it right away. And we got a quote for our computers for, upgrading the server and all the stations. I think it was, what, like $7,000 or $8,000? And that's with
Sounds
IMC
right.
who does it now.
Sounds right.
They're no longer gonna support, the current Windows program we're using and Internet Explorer. So we have to, it's been all over the news and all that kind of stuff, so.
Were you satisfied with that? Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, they do, I think the total here was, $7,357. Actually, I thought it was gonna be way a lot more than that.
Make a motion.
I mean, I don't know if we have so many
Second.
options we have
I
to
vote
do.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And did you get the email about our insurance quote that came, you know, our insurance quotes? I emailed that to everybody, if they had a chance to look at it. The police professional liability, the public officials went up like $500 or $600. The police professional liability went up several thousand, and he explained it was because we added 6 additional police officers, and that's what drove it up, so.
It's fine.
Our renewal's October 1st, so do you wanna just,
Make a motion to accept it.
I make the motion, or a second.
Yes.
Yes. Is that all you had, Rochelle?
that's it.
Before we adjourn, did we still need an executive session, Nate?
Yeah,
or-
just briefly, yeah, for.
For litigation?
Yeah, it's a tax appeal case and there's some property maintenance issues.
When we return?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.